Hello and welcome to C++ programming. We're still continuing with chapter 3. I'm doing exercise 6. This one's a little bit more challenging if you're not a math enthusiast like myself. The entire purpose of these videos is so that you don't have to pay for Chegg. You get an answer, and believe me, I know the answers are correct because I already submitted the assignment. First and foremost, I am not a programmer. I'm learning how to do C++ myself. I'm in a course for it. And it sucks because there's no videos ever posted by the professor. I'm reading a chapter and trying to wing it as I go, and sometimes I get it right, sometimes I don't. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Don't come at me for uh, for not knowing how to do things a quicker way. The biggest thing here is that as you progress through the course, you're going to learn how to do things an easier and quicker way, as opposed to some other ways that I do things. So let's start off with the problem itself. Now, I recorded this video before and I fucked it up, so we're going to try this again, all right? Let me see here. Give me 1 second. All right. Builders Incorporated wants a program that allows its sales clerks to enter the diameter of a circle and the price of railing material per foot. The program should calculate and display the total price of the railing material. Use 3.1416 as the value of pi. First, create an IPO chart for this problem, and then desk check the algorithm twice. For the first desk check, use 35 feet as the diameter and $2 as the price per foot. The second one is 15.5 and 350. After desk checking the algorithm, list the input, processing, and output items in a chart similar to the one shown in figure 325, and then enter the appropriate C++ declaration statements. First and foremost, I am not going to create the IPO chart. That is the easiest part of this entire process, and I'm not going to do the listing, the input, processing, and output items similar to the one in the figure. That's the easiest stuff that you can do. All right. So this problem requires you to do some math. I'm not good at math. You need to know the area of a circle. The last time I found the area of a circle, I was probably like 15 years old, and I was probably doing it wrong. All right. So this one was a challenge for me. Uh, if you look up what the area of a circle is, it's pi times the radius squared. Okay? So there's a problem here. We don't have the radius. We only have the diameter. And in order to find the radius, you have to divide the diameter in half. Now our diameter goes from here to here. So the radius is, half of that. That's one thing you got to keep in mind. So our program is going to find the radius for us as well. Okay? So you have to know the area of a circle in order to do this problem. If you don't, I'm going to teach you along the way. So in our last video, I said that you had to include like this in order for the function to work correctly. Well, that's not the case. I mean, it is the case if you don't include this using namespace standard thing right here. All right. Include this under the hashtag include IO stream, and you'll be good to boogie. You won't have to include that std before every cout and cin thing that you want to do. So let me see here. I already have the code typed out on my other monitor, so that's what I'm going to be referencing. Keep in mind that there are some things that I do now that will take longer in a sense, and as you go through the course, you can learn a quicker way to do things like the square root function, or not the square root function, the squaring function and the cubing function, but you don't know that yet, so that's why I'm not including it in this video. So first thing we want to do is declare our variables. We need to know a few things. There's a few things that you want to be able to enter into your program. One of the first things that you want to be able to enter is the diameter. The sales clerk should be able to enter the diameter, so you have to be able to have that as a variable. Next thing you want to know, or Next thing that we want to be able to input is the price per foot of the material, right? You want to be able to display the total cost, so you include that as well. Let's see here. We need to know our radius, our diameter, our area, right? So we have to include all of those because that's pretty much part of the entire process. Not diameter. Area. Let's see, area, radius, and the last thing is a constant that we're going to be using, and you have to use a double for this, is 3.1416. And the reason why it's this way is because what the hell? Oh, I forgot to include the name. It's not going to change throughout the entire program, so it's got to stay this, constantly has to be this, right? So we know we have to be able to input our diameter, input our price. We want to know our total cost, so that has to be known. We have to know, we have to pretty much find the area, the radius, and we have to use pi. I think I have everything. So now we can begin entering our items that we want to be able to enter. So cout, enter diameter. The purpose of this is because when we run our program up here, we're going to be able to see enter diameter. Now I'm not able to type anything in there at the moment because we need to include the cin, and we are able to put that diameter up here. It's a double function, whatever it is, variable, because the second problem is 15.5. If we were to do an integer, it would just only use the 15. Cout, we want to be able to enter the price per foot, and in order to be able to input, we need a cin, and we would call that price. Boom. That's really the beginning of everything. So when we run the program really quick, we will see enter diameter 35 2. We're not getting a freaking we're not getting an answer or anything like that. That's where we have to start doing the math. I hope this all makes sense. So going back to that, if I drag this over again, and if I pull this up again, we need to know our radius. So in order to do that, we do radius equals the diameter divided in half. So let me find a calculator here. In this instance, we have 35 feet as the diameter. We divide that in half, we get 17.5. So that equals 17.5, right? So I'm dash checking and I'm writing the program out at the same time. Alright, next we have to find the area of the circle, which using our Google image was radius squared. At the moment, you don't know how to use the squared function, so just do radius times radius, because what is squared is just the number times itself. Radius times pi. Okay, so when we do that, let me bring this back over here. 17 times 17.5 times pi, area, $306.25. That's just 17.5 squared times 3.1416, which is our constant pi, is 962,115. Because we use a double function, it's going to use that 115. It's not going to drop it to 11. Alright, so that's our area. Let me go back to this. And we're going to calculate our total cost, which is the area times the price. Okay, so we'll pull this guy back up over here, times 2, because that's our price per foot, equals 1,924.23. So that's what we should be getting as our answer, right? When we finally run this. So we have our calculation there. Enter another comment here, displaying total cost. So then we do cout total cost, and then we enter, that total cost in here as well. Whoops. End of main function. So what we should be getting is this right here. Whoa, I did that all types of fricked up. That's what we should be getting. Let's find out if we do get it. Okay, so we said our diameter was 35. Our price per foot is 2. Our total cost is $1,924.23. Perfect, right? Now there is the other problem as well, which was, let me see here, let me try and erase a lot of this stuff right here. Let's check our next problem, which was 15.5 as the diameter divided by 2 equals, let's bring this guy over here, 7.75 is our radius. Squared times pi. When we do that, we're going to get our area. 3.1416, 188,69235. I'm just going to write all of that down, right? Times 2, or not times 2, times 350, right? $660,423,225. So we'll just name it total cost equals 660.423,225. We should be getting something similar to this. All right. Let's go ahead and run it in our program here. Whoa, what the hell did I? It's because I was fucking typing something. I had my finger on the keyboard. So 15.5, price per foot is 350. Total cost is 660,423. This isn't an issue right here, this 423. Obviously you would want it to be just 42 or 40 whatever. At the moment you haven't learned about the setting the fixed precision on these problems yet, so it's gonna pop up like that, which is why I would leave it the way it is. Now I believe that there is a way you can do it. Let me see if this will work. I think the reason why, let me see, why is that not working? Am I spelling it wrong? You know what it is? I think maybe I need to include that work? Yeah, see, there we go. Now it'll work. So if we run it again, let me see if it'll give us the same answer, or it'll yeah, see, this time around it dropped that 3 and it gave us just 42. So, but you haven't learned that yet in this course. At least I don't know if you have. I didn't learn it until recently. Um, so I would just leave that out and leave that out, and that's pretty much how you do it. This one was a tricky one. Um, like I said, I had to go back and learn how to figure out what the area of a circle is. That's just how you do it, you know. And I watched other videos on how to do it too. I used my resources, but $20 a month to get some answers, to get some help is just ridiculous. So I figured I would just help out where I can. I know this problem is correct because it already got graded. Hopefully I can pull out or put out another video on the next chapter. Once you're getting into like chapter 5 and or whenever you start using the ifs and the whiles and the looping functions, it gets really confusing and it's a lot at once. So it's good practice for myself too. That's pretty much chapter 3, exercise 6. Hopefully this was helpful.